Hello, Bobbi.
Hi.
Hello. It's really nice to meet you, finally.
It's amazing to finally be here.
Oh, I know. How long I think I've been speaking to you. I remember my very first phone call to you, which was when you were at Coca-Cola.
Oh, that's not very long ago. I remember that.
It was a little while ago, I think.
Nearly 10 years.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, how time flies.
10 years.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, it's really nice to have you on because you are someone who absolutely fascinates me, but at the same time, I feel like I completely admire your entrepreneurial spirit, your creativity, and I feel like that really resonates with me. So, yeah, thank you for coming on.
You're welcome.
And it'd be really good if you can give everyone a bit of a, who's Bobbi and how have we got here and your journey so far.
Oh wow.
Yeah. What a question.
Okay, well, our relationship definitely kind of all began with consulting.
Yeah.
On enterprise solutions with Microsoft. And that then actually allowed me and inspired me to identify a gap in the market as a corporate woman who was doing a lot of traveling, a lot of working away from home, and I love traveling light.
Yes.
But also I think being a woman in the tech industry, I would always champion and empower other women to be able to just be themselves.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons we are not ourselves, in my opinion, is because we don't have things that are relatable. The corporate sector is very much designed and defined to tailor for men, not for women. And that's what inspired me to create Bobbi London, my brand.
Yeah.
Which is a corporate tech and travel brand.
Powerhouse now.
Yes.
See, I saw it called the other day. Powerhouse that is Bobbi. Yeah, Bobbi London.
Yeah, really kind of looking forward to that kind of growing. And then in addition to that, as I said, I used to be a speaker for women in tech to encourage the next generation of young girls to choose a career in STEM rather than opt against it, because there's only a minority number of women that are there, and just sharing strategies with young girls of how I made a success of my career by not falling under the gender pay gap, being a minority in my industry, but by being female, being a woman of colour, and yet still having the confidence to grow and be quite proud to say I've been quite grown a reputation from my male peers as well.
Yeah.
And I also mentor a number of individuals, both men and women, young individuals and successful entrepreneurs as well. I'm a strong believer of always sharing my journey to make somebody else's a little bit easier.
Yeah.
I think again, part and parcel of I think my kind of career with Microsoft, that's shaped that aspect of me.
Yeah, and I think that now is what better time to shape the younger generation, especially the female generation. We're right now in a really, key transition period, aren't we, for that? It's so accepted right now, and it's really shouted about and verbalised, and I think that you actually yourself are like an advocate for that. That is, what every girl would want to aspire to be.
Oh,
and I think that now is a really good time to be doing that, especially in the way that that's evolved throughout the years. How are you it's obviously changed since you started from where you are now. How have you found that change?
From being the only woman in the building, let alone the room, at times when I first set out in my corporate career over 2 decades ago, it is such a pleasure to work on projects with women.
Yeah.
I believe we bring so much more to the table from an analytical mindset. And I've actually watched projects be a success as a result of women being on the project. And actually Coca-Cola was one of them.
Yeah.
Where we had a whole group of us, consultants, mainly male. There's always challenges before you, but I think my male counterparts feel very confidently to just walk into a room and just promise the world and then worry about how they're going to deliver it.
Yeah.
We women actually don't. We don't overcommit and underdeliver. It's the other way around. And I think just kind of making a few adjustments to the way we do things by not taking things personally. I think it's just those things that I try to kind of emphasise and share a little more, because men do a lot of things right, and one of them is confidently being their own advocates.
Yes.
And we don't do
No,
that, so
we're
we
just
can
talking about
definitely adapt that from them. But even when 5 years ago, just going back 5 years ago when I created Bobbi London, I had a male network, and I was creating a product for women. So I had to grow my female network. So that's also now, I'm very proud to say I've got such a strong female network.
How did you
which
do
is
that?
full of actual powerhouses.
How did you do that?
It initially started with learning about a number of networks that are corporate driven for females.
Yeah.
It's called Elevate Network. It's very American focused because they have a chapter for each state, and then we have one sole London chapter which covers all of England.
Yeah.
So I represented the London chapter and met some incredible individuals on that, primarily women. And they run something called Squads, which is a 12-week program that you sign up to, and you are joining other individuals from across the globe to come together and share a challenge that you are dealing with, for then everybody else to contribute and tell you how to address that challenge. And over this 12-week program, you form such an amazing bond. You learn so much about what a different sector, role, industry is dealing with. But again, as we already know, it doesn't matter what industry or sector you're in, the challenges we face, how you address them, how you solutionize them is actually the same. So it's very transferable, your knowledge and your experience. But that was my first network, my first female network. That was super empowering, because I wasn't just giving something away. I was getting some great takeaways from as well. And it grew from there onwards. I think my first invitation to the World Economic Forum was actually because of my championing women empowerment.
Yeah, so your networking within that group has led to
and I met some women from the United Nations there who encouraged me to apply for UN Women UK.
Wow. Did you do it?
I did, yeah. So again, it's being around like-minded women who actually have a solution and the same mindset to actually change something for a positive impact.
Yeah, to champion other women and empower you to speak up.
Some absolutely incredible networks out there. Female Quotient's one of them. World Women Foundation is another one of them. But I think then your network just expands. And I think this is one thing that women do well. They'll always share about, oh, have you heard of this and have you heard of that?
No egos. Well, there is egos, but
sometimes.
Yeah, I was going to say.
But when you're part of the right network, people will want to help you succeed and grow.
Yes.
It's not all about, when you learn to start giving without expecting anything back, it has a way of rewarding you, and if there was more of us doing that. Yeah,
I read, I think it was Stephen Bartlett's book actually, with the, to teach is to be truly successful, is to teach others, and I think that is, that is the ultimate goal, isn't it? Is that if you can teach someone something that means that they're successful, it enables them to be successful, then, that's the goal, isn't it? That's the dream.
Absolutely, and it's so rewarding when you come back and hear from somebody that, they actually were able to apply something in a very positive way because of something that you might have mentioned, or a connection or an introduction you made. And it's quite rewarding. It's quite giving back. Does
that forum then that you've now put yourself in, you're in the networks, does that kind of apply to every aspect of there's Bobbi, like say, consultant, there's Bobbi designer, Bobbi brand, you're also a product now as such. Does this network support you in all of those aspects, or is it that you've kind of had to go out and do different networks for each of those areas of your life?
There's definitely elements of yes. I think when you build a a supportive team of individuals around you.
Yeah.
They will want to help you succeed in what your vision might be, as long as you share it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really, really important to share what you're working on, what your challenges are, what you're looking for. But there are definitely specific networks and consultants and organisations that help you in certain areas. That's absolutely kind of key. I think my network around Bobbi London is very much entrepreneurial focused.
Yeah.
It has to be. The challenges will be very much relatable. And then with the tech kind of, that's obviously my niche. So that's grown over a number of years, which to me is always going to be forward thinking.
Yeah. It has to be, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And that can contribute in so many positive ways to probably absolutely everything that I do.
Yeah.
And I think my kind of peer network for that has absolutely been very, very supportive. Male, primarily,
yes,
but super supportive of a initial female product line that I was kind of bringing to the market.
Yeah, Bobbi London fascinates me because I'm a little bit of an entrepreneur. I'm that person that has like, oh, I've got an idea, and I want to run with it. And I think it's really important to like harness that energy when you have those sorts of ideas. But how do you find it? Because my brain is constantly like, I want to do this. Oh my God, imagine if we could do this. How do you cut through the noise and decide that Bobbi London product was the one that you were going to go for? And then, how do you make that a reality?
So I used to write my ideas down.
Yeah.
So given all of the kind of traveling and working away from home and living away from home that I used to do, I just wanted to, if anything I just wanted to be grounded.
Yeah.
And just live a slow life.
And you need to do that when your brain's like going, all these ideas, isn't it? How do I take that and go, I need to stop?
That used to be my exit from Microsoft.
Yeah.
When I first kind of thought about it. So any idea that I'd write it down.
Yeah.
And then I always believed in taking sabbaticals during my kind of corporate career because it would actually help me focus and grow something else.
Yeah.
So that definitely was key, to just step away. And actually, it doesn't matter, a holiday is still, your mind is still very much focused on your project that you're engaged in. So completely stepping away actually helps you fuel your passion and the time for something else. So that definitely was critical, but also going through the list of ideas that I had written down over the years. I had, in my husband and I, we both had an entrepreneurial mindset. We had our corporate careers and there was something else we were working towards. But when we decided to part ways, unfortunately, we parked our business and we thought, because the relationship was still good, that we would pick it up. Yeah. But that didn't end up happening. And then I think I went back and looked through my list. What can I now do and grow on my own? And Bobbi London was what came to, it was a 15-year-old concept. Wow. That I sat there, remember writing it down in an airport, but 15 years.
Probably because you had a grey laptop sleeve.
Very, very masculine kind of bag. It was my old Dell bag.
Yeah.
And it was just picking through an idea, a very old idea, and saying, right, what can I grow on that I can do on my own without anybody else? And I found once you actually bring an idea and start working on it, which was my 9 to 5 was Microsoft, and then my kind of 6 to 2 in the morning was my time. And I didn't take a break, I grew it. Yeah. I would have my downtime, I'd be watching Netflix in the evening, but I was sketching my ideas, and my concept board would grow. When you start actively bringing a concept forward and working on it, it's really impressive how quickly that grows.
Yeah, momentum.
And how that becomes your forefront. You start talking about it. And that's why it's really key to start talking about it, because somebody else will open a door for you that, was probably still a little bit further away on your path a lot sooner. And then as these things fall into play, you find that your transition gets you're kind of growing in the right direction a lot quicker.
Yeah.
Than just doing something slowly on the sideline, and it becomes your priority. Where without that, we prioritize work.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm a real strong believer of not limiting ourselves to a single role.
Yeah.
We're capable of so much more.
I think our brains need it as well. I
Yeah.
think that once you...
It's a release.
It's a stim, isn't it? That
Yeah.
you need to almost, even though it feels like you're adding to your plate, what you're actually doing is helping your brain to separate the different things you've got going on and feel stimulated in all those other areas, creativity, entrepreneurial side of things, your analytical mindset, because, you know, creativity is obviously a key part of Bobbi London, but yet your consultancy role is very structured, analytical. So how do you manage that within, you know, you must have a creative side. And
I didn't think I had, but evidently I did.
Yeah, but yeah, you know, in your day-to-day role, as you say, you have to be very structured and you know.
That's without that structured skill set, I wouldn't be able to do half the things I do today.
Yeah.
I think that's so key to be structured, to be able to prioritize and actually also allow outcomes.
Yeah.
As a result of that.
Discipline to make sure you've
for
got them.
sure.
Yeah.
You absolutely need that, and there's a lot of and I love what I do with my kind of corporate career. I wouldn't do it if I didn't enjoy it, but it's very different from what I was doing in creating the brand or any of the other areas that I'm involved in, and each one of them gives you something. And as long as you've got you're creating, more importantly, you're creating a positive impact.
Yeah.
And what I was building, which wasn't just a passion project, it was actually something that we needed, and it's identifying that problem and bringing that solution to the table as well.
Yeah.
So that's your drive that keeps you going. They had to be, because I got... I landed myself with a lawsuit at the very start, which could have just brought everything to a grinding halt. But I had to constantly remind myself of my why. My why was because we very much needed, not just me, women needed this.
Yes.
And that's something that kept me forward. But my structured, process-driven background, that without that I would not be able to have been able to make a success of it.
And you do all of it. You source your suppliers, your products. Like obviously you have to deal with looking at what you need to change or make better or continue. How does that, you know, is it constantly evolving, or are you taking Bobbi London in? Like you say, you know, you need to take sabbatical sometime. Do you do that with Bobbi London as well?
Yes. Yes, I think initially it was just me.
Yeah.
Who grew this kind of whole brand and brought it to market with a collection of tech products, while the current Gia collection was in the making, behind the scenes, very slowly, thanks to the pandemic. But
trying to get it through customs.
No, trying to actually just get Italy to open up so I could design the leather.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just the very, very early start. It just came to a grinding halt.
Yeah.
So that's why I ended up creating a factory here in London with my development team, who helped me develop the actual initial collection. And then I put together a factory workforce, and we were able to kind of produce the initial collection aside from the tech range. And then I had to grow it and scale it. So I had also 4 months of launching my brand. I won an award, quite a number of awards, and a couple of my favourite ones were the Theo Paphitis Dragon's Den Award, called Small Business Sunday.
Yeah, I saw that.
So Theo supports small businesses and entrepreneurs. It's still called small business, but there are some really big businesses within that network. Supports you in giving you access to his partners, and in so many kind of different kind of initiatives that he brings to the table. One of mine was being funded to do Spring Fair, which is the largest retail trade fair. That was my stepping stone into starting scaling my brand.
Yeah.
And it allowed me to pitch my brand in front of all these global buyers.
Yeah.
So for that, I needed to now ramp up my production, which just wasn't going to happen out of London. Although there was a number of reasons I decided to close down London. I had a number of personal losses. I took a break from everything, life in general. But when I started back up, I knew I needed to now scale before I was ready. And it was the right decision to make, but it's taken a long time to get there. And along the way, I've brought people on board. I've had to unfortunately let them go as well.
Yeah.
Something I do probably is give people too much credit. And I've learned not to do that. And let them go sooner.
Are you an empath?
I hate that side of me.
Yeah.
I absolutely am, and I hate that side
It's
of me.
such a good side, but it also really limits
It
your
costs you.
decision making, doesn't it?
Costs you a lot.
Sometimes. Yeah.
I end up picking projects.
And repeatedly as well until you actually do learn.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know.
But yeah, when I brought her on board, Annette, she's my creative operations director. She was just absolutely incredible. And without her, I would not have been able to grow the business as quickly as I did if it was just me.
Yeah.
So it's really, really important, because I had a whole team, from an engineering team and the development team. Doesn't matter about how many people you have, if they don't have the right work ethic, if they are not doing the right things to grow you, it's just, you need to cut loose.
Yeah,
let go.
Of course.
But bringing one single valuable individual can actually help you grow tenfold.
Yeah.
And that's who Annette has been for me.
And the trust in that person to do that as well.
Yeah, it was her work ethic, it was her passion, and it was more importantly her experience that she brought to the table.
Yeah.
And then understanding my vision of where I wanted to go as well.
Where are you at on that vision
amazing.
At the moment?
Oh wow, yeah, I think I've definitely kind of achieved most of the things that I far surpassed my actual initial vision. But right now we are dropping the collection at the end of the month. And I am looking to now grow into retail department stores, luxury department stores. I'd like to see the brand in airports and luxury hotels. So I can focus on continuing designing products and building the brand into a luxury travel brand for corporate professionals that I initially envisioned.
This is your new mood board, so to speak.
No, this is
vision
the original
board.
one. It's just actually
it's good. We need to extend the vision board.
Well, the extension part is I am formulating a fragrance at the moment, which will be a signature Bobbi London fragrance.
You get one with the bag?
You get to buy one with the bag. I'm an entrepreneur.
Yeah, cool.
Everything's for sale. Yeah. So what I will do once a fragrance has been formulated, we're on the third revision, turn that into a number of products. And one of them will be a very concentrated perfume for women. So when I travel, I have to decant my very expensive perfume into this tiny little thing. And if you're away for, you know what it's like when you travel for a week, it can turn into like 3 weeks before you ever get back. Mm-hmm. Well, the idea of the concentrated perfume is, again, small, compact, travel ready is the theme that, I try to kind of run through most of the products, is you only ever need to kind of carry a small amount and it lasts on you. So that's one of the things I want to kind of turn the fragrance into. So I do travel with a candle. Most hotel rooms that I end up living in don't smell the best when you first walk in. No. But they do after, you have a nice scented candle. But my scented candle is a two-way, where it's a natural candle, and when it burns, the wax is an oil, which you can actually use as a moisturiser as well.
Wow.
On your skin. So
they're still fitting in with your theme for travel.
I seem to do like multiple things. Every product has a multifaceted feature.
It's like the evolution of your product line,
I think it's I don't want to bring anything to the market that's just exhausted already. I like to have something innovative that really kind of keeps me going and my passion for where I want the brand
Standing
to go.
out almost, like stand up, but standing out. But how do you do that? If you were saying to a young woman right now who maybe doesn't have access to some of the platforms that you've got or had access to, how would you kind of advise them to start a business or start their dream? Where do they start? What's their first sort of thing they need to get doing?
I think start before you're ready is something I'll say. I think we, as women, we definitely try to perfect our ideas before we do anything with them. And we don't need to. You've got to pivot in a business for it to be successful. Given pandemic hit and my business was for travellers, would have come to a nice crashing halt if I had stopped. So you've got to keep pushing forward and be fluid to be able to address and navigate some of the challenges that we are going to face unexpectedly. Build with clarity, lead with precision, and never really ever underestimate the power of your own vision.
Yeah.
If you strongly believe in your own vision, you have the ability to actually execute it. So it's really important to actually have the determination to bring that vision to reality. And the way you can do that is to talk and share to others. And it's really amazing what someone knows.
Yeah.
That could be the perfect
I mean,
fit
it's that horrible saying, isn't it? Not what you know, it's who
Who
you
you
know.
know.
And
Yeah.
it really, really is, I think.
And Annette was brought to me by a recommendation of a friend who was very passionate about my brand, and he repeatedly kept telling me to kind of speak with her, and it was the best conversation. I took him several attempts to get through, but
Well, also,
once he did,
it's letting someone
no
into
regrets.
you, isn't it? It's letting someone else into your vision.
And I think we hold those things so tight.
Yeah.
It's and you can do that, but you'll only ever remain small.
Yes.
And I think any entrepreneur should always look at looking at their business of how can I scale this?
Yeah.
Because everyone comes up with some great ideas, but we're all innovators, but we're not all entrepreneurs.
No.
And I think it's just marrying up the innovator inside of us with the entrepreneur to think how can you actually scale that business. If you're addressing a problem, talk about it. But if you bring in the right individuals, it can really help you grow.
Yeah, and playing to strengths, isn't it? And not being afraid to say that, although I am the entrepreneur in your scenario, I may not be the right person for this. This needs to be someone else while I'm being the entrepreneur, and not be afraid to let that happen.
Absolutely. I think
Play to strengths.
network I think I was part of was Enterprise Nation. And through Enterprise Nation, I actually ended up, I launched my business in March. In May, I had a pop-up on Oxford Street, which was an amazing thing for a very early startup who hasn't even launched her whole collection. And I thought that was the first time I took a step back and thought, oh wow, that's me, and I did that.
Yeah, be proud.
But I wouldn't have been able to do it if it wasn't for the opportunities. So you've got to, my vision was always the Gia collection, the bag that's today on the market. Go back 5 years ago, that wasn't ready.
No.
So I could have thought, oh no, I'm not ready, I've just launched my brand with just a small tech collection. But I still went forward, seized that opportunity with both hands.
Made it happen.
And grew from there onwards.
Yeah.
Wasn't the original vision, but this is where you just got to remain fluid. But any opportunity that comes your way, grab it with both hands. Say yes and...
Figure it out after. Yeah, I think, funnily enough, my son said to me the other day, I'm going to do that until I'm told not to. And, I was like, ooh, part of me wants to tell him off right now, but the other part of me is like, you should be doing that your whole life. So I think, but you're involved in quite, like I said, you've got Bobbi London, you're 9 to 5. What else are you involved in? Because we've seen you speak at, well, not everyone's seen you speak, but obviously I've seen you speak at a few events. I've seen the coverage of that you've got, PR, press, etc. You're involved in quite a lot.
Yeah, I think my whole kind of speaking kind of career, actually, I didn't do enough of it when I was at Microsoft because they used to encourage me to do that as an MVP. But I think when it came to growing my brand, every opportunity was to talk about my brand. And even actually prior to that, it was more across the way of sharing my journey, my challenges. So it's not always about sharing your successes, because it's about sharing the challenges that you've overcome.
Yeah.
So you can leave behind a strategy for somebody else of how you overcame that, because they will find resonance in what you're talking about. So it's kind of grown from that. I'm kind of often asked to either speak or moderate, bring something to the table, and then these kind of the speaking events just kind of grow from that point onwards. I am the head judge for 40 Under 40,
Yeah.
which is it's kind of allowed me to grow my entrepreneurial network, and I can't. So we've literally just closed the nominations and they're now public voting. So I can't really liaise with any of the current nominees.
Yeah.
But post event, I can, and they tend to reach out. So it's great to be able to support them.
Yeah.
In
Like a mentorship
in what they're
as well.
either that or partnership, or help them kind of connect them to somebody that might be relevant to what they might be doing. So as long as their values align, the vision of what they're trying to do aligns, then I'm quite privileged to have such a wide varied network.
Yeah.
Where there'll always be somebody that I can bring somebody to. I remember this young girl, she was a winner of 40 Under 40, and she won the award at the start of the year. So she had a great year. By the end of the year, she had hit, she was made redundant by her company, and she wanted a whole rehaul. So she was feeling really down. She didn't know what she wanted, and I had a conversation with her. And she wanted to actually grow in the solar industry. And I was like, I don't think I know anybody in the solar industry that could just immediately, somebody gives me a problem, I'm a
You
solution
want to give a
provider.
solution, yeah.
And I'm already kind of churning away, right? How can I kind of, meet her, get her to connect with her? And just coincidentally, I ended up having a friend of mine who was in the energy sector who sends me a message to say, he's just switched to solar. I was like, oh, well, I know you just switched, but can you talk to this girl? Because I think she would find so much value from you. And she just really needs some encouragement. And then I just gave her a pep talk of lose the waffle.
Yeah.
Do not talk
Get
about
what you want, yeah.
Essays of how terrible your life is. Just get to the point and put your ask on the table. So I'm going to connect you up and just please make it kind of relevant.
Yeah.
And then she calls me up saying, by the way, I got a job.
So
I think it's just that a little bit of making time for someone, which isn't really in the long run that much, but actually being prepared to make that time for someone and just pairing them up. They were the perfect match. She obviously said something, because I wanted them to talk for him for that industry. He was the best advisor.
It's relevant, isn't it? It's the making sure that whatever you're connecting there's value.
Yeah.
Without the value, it's worthless.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, she's probably very thankful right now.
Yeah.
She's still there.
Yeah, she is. she's in the solar sector.
Yeah.
But no, so it's just finding those little opportunities as well. But the entrepreneurial network definitely is amazing to kind of grow from. The Davos network that I have joined the World Economic Forum. I think there's just so many people that I go back and meet once a year, and several times through the year as well, because we all travel.
And is that all people like yourselves, entrepreneurs,
Political
business
backgrounds?
Yeah,
absolutely. People who want to actually have bring a change globally.
Yeah.
For the better, without wanting anything in return.
Yeah.
And it's that mentality which, I really hold.
What change do you want to make? Is there a specific one, or is it just...
I don't think there's a specific one. I think whatever I do in my time on this earth, I just want to make sure that it's impactful.
Yeah.
And it's it's bringing positivity to, we all deal with our day-to-day issues in life, but as long as I can bring a little bit of positivity into what I do, instead of looking at a glass half full, look at it half empty, look at it half full approach, and it can really be incredibly powerful. So I think in whatever I get involved in, it's making that positive impact. A couple of initiatives are water-based. A foundation that actually has pledged to get rid of ocean plastic waste from the world's oceans. So it's a very kind of impactful business, so they have my full support. Likewise, there's another organisation who, very, very early days, they're quite new, but they've created a substance, a very natural substance, which actually can clean and cleanse water. So it's the same substance that can be turned into hand sanitizer, and also be used for cleaning waters. So if you are a water farming organisation, cleaning that water before your produce can grow in it. The solutions that are around today are not the most best. So it's, again, getting behind organisations and young entrepreneurs that are actually creating more impactful businesses as well. I think that's definitely something that I get drawn to.
How do you have the time?
I make time. I don't have the time, but I make time.
No.
I sleep very little. But I think what I find is on days that I have slept for like 45 minutes, not even an hour, and I'm still functioning through the day without coffee. Last year was without coffee.
This year? Coffee's back?
I've gone back to the coffee.
Absolutely.
I did miss my coffee.
I'm a massive coffee drinker as well, and I think that as long as you drink it sensibly, it definitely helps.
I did used to. I just took a pause because my heart rate was spiking all the time. So I thought, okay, let's just cut.
Do you think it was the coffee, not the million things that you were doing? It was the coffee. I know what. I'll leave the coffee.
But instead of jumping straight onto medication, I was like, what can I cut out first? So I, even if I've slept very little, it's the adrenaline that keeps us going.
Excitement,
So I find so many people, they just close the door of opportunity because they'd rather have their 10-hour sleep. And I'm just like, okay, well, see you exactly where you are in 15 years' time. And it's amazing when I've actually done that.
Your drive is
gone back
15
years and met with the same colleagues in the same company in the same city, and they haven't moved.
No.
So that's what happens. You actually become very kind of stationary. You can keep going. You're not somebody who is driven by. You are driven, that is for sure. And I think how are you going to maintain that drive? What's next now then for Bobbi London? Are you working on anything at the moment that you can give us any secret snippets of? Yes, I guess my tech senses have been like a widely known small secret, still going. But I think it's been a case of growing this collection now, getting the collection out there. That's dropping. My focus is primarily on that at present. There was a few other things in the pipeline that haven't quite gone to plan, but we pivot. We move. We do. But what it's actually also allowed me to do is take a slower pace, which is always the goal. My goal every year is just take a bit of a slower pace, but that's probably until another interesting project comes to market. I'm focused on a couple of mentoring programs as well. One of them being called We Job Box. An ex-BBC friend of mine has left BBC and launched it, and it's to ensure the young generation that's just exited school get the right opportunities before them, so they can gain that valid experience which you just get shut down for. So it's a mentoring program that I'm formally becoming part of, although I've always kind of mentored people part and parcel along the way. This is what I mean about I don't need any more new projects because
No,
I just doesn't
but
matter
you
where
will.
I go. I'll always like, I love what you're doing. Can you just please mentor me? And I was like, yes, okay.
You empath, see?
Yeah, I know. I'm very much aware of
Yeah.
it, and I need to kind of just now. I try and ask myself, it is not your problem. Walk away.
I think
Doesn't
it,
help.
I was going to say, I don't think you will walk away. So, what out of everything, what are you most proud of? What is the one thing that stands out? Because there's a lot.
I think my integrity. I've always operated with integrity. Every single pivot that I've had to take at times has been intentional but value-led. And I'm proud that I can make change valuable.
Yeah.
I have protected my credibility at every stage and I will continue to do that. It's non-negotiable. It's rewarded me by gaining a reputation that I'm blessed with an incredible and a very powerful network of individuals that I can proudly call friends as well. But primarily, I think it comes from being kind and actually making time for others, because I just believe it's got a way of it finding its way back.
Absolutely.
I constantly get told, take a break, slow down, you're going to burn out.
You're doing too much.
Yeah, but I think what people don't realise is that when and if I slow down, I will probably fall apart.
I hear you. I'm saying.
So keeping going actually is probably the fire that fuels me.
Celebrate it. You're alive. You're here. You've got the opportunity to do something with it, haven't you?
Yeah.
And I think it's we're blessed in that respect. But there's a reason why you've worked with Curo for 10 years. You spoke about your integrity there. As you know, that's our core value.
Absolutely.
That's why we're here. Why we're sat here with you. 10 years of worth of friendship with Curo. But yeah, it's been brilliant to chat with you. And
thank you.
If you could leave anyone with a last message, do you have anything you want to say? So many takeaways in that.
I would say have a little bit more confidence in yourself. The number of times I've probably hit rock bottom in my personal life and I've had to rebuild myself back up.
Yeah.
And I'm amazed I'm still standing. But we can do it. So as long as whenever we hit a block, we look at where we just kind of need to just regroup and look at where we want to go and maybe focus on the end goal rather than the challenges before us.
Yes.
It's amazing what having a positive mindset can
Absolutely.
bring you. And it sounds a bit cuckoo, but if I didn't have a positive mindset, I would have crumbled when I had that lawsuit.
Yes.
At registering my trademark, and Bobbi London would never have existed. And it's not been a walk in the park since, but I've always kind of envisioned the way forward, and that is seeing the brand on a much more wider, larger, international, global scale of where I want it to be. And I do already have customers internationally. It's available obviously online, so we have the ability, it's accessible everywhere. But I'd like to see it obviously grow further. And without having that vision, it wouldn't be where it is today.
I think you're
passion, determination, and just having confidence and believing in yourself.
Yeah, I mean you're setting an entrepreneurial legacy, I think, right now, and that is just showing no signs of stopping. So good luck, good luck with it all. And yeah, I'm super proud to have had you on today. It's been great.
Oh, it's been amazing. It's been so much fun. It's been great to kind of come back and actually meet everybody.
Yeah.
Which has been, it's just crazy how many years have gone by. So I think it's probably one of my podcasts that actually is probably more meaningful because of the length of time we go back. Because you've seen my journey transition.
I mean, you just spoke about your award for Thea Pathetis, and I remember very vividly commenting on that post on LinkedIn to say well done.
Oh, wow.
So I remember that, and you know, your journey from here on in has just been nothing short of incredible. It's inspiring, especially for a woman and an entrepreneurial woman as well. But I hope you don't mind. We're going to say that if you want to ask Bobbi a question or any advice, please feel free to email in to our podcast@curioservices.com email address, and we'll do our best to get Bobbi to answer that for you without adding to your long list of to-do. But yeah, it's been lovely. Thank you very much.
Oh,
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.